I think oil is going to turn around in the next few months and go back down to 30 bucks or something like that. And then people are going to have to realize these frackers and a lot of these emerging country exporters are dead, and there's going to be a lot of debts that aren't going to be paid.
So you don't think oil is stabilized? You think more volatility is coming?
Well, I think it'll stable. We've said for a long time, oil, if it broke 80, it's dead, which it did. It's ultimately going to $10 to $20 in the next several years, but it'll probably vary between $10 and maybe.
So it still will be volatile, just going down overall.
Yeah, it's not just going to go down and stay down, but it's going to be between 10 and 70. Most oil companies can't make it over 45, traditional ones. Most frackers can't make it under 55.
What did it, though? I mean, it was already glut was going in that direction, but the Saudis, are they just trying to pick the time it starts its descent?
Well, the Saudis are playing like Rockefeller in the early 1900s. They are the low-cost producer with some of the largest reserves. They're not cutting their production because they want prices to go down. They want to eliminate their competition so they can be a dominant producer longer term. They're going to knock out the frackers. They're going to knock out the tar sands in Canada, Venezuela, and Iran. Many countries like that are just going to fall by the wayside and never come back. That means Saudi Arabia is going to have higher prices and more dominance.
And Venezuela then will completely implode.
Oh, yeah, Venezuela's dead. I mean, they can't even make it at 100, nevertheless at 55.
And so that's why their lights aren't on now half the time. I mean, they are already rotting.
Yeah. And Russia, I mean, oil is and energy is their largest export sector. And their government...
Can you imagine they got a communist government that's run everybody off, kicked all the entrepreneurs out, and now their oil economy's dead? That is going to be a hellhole inside a hellhole. Caller, thank you so much. Really great question. You know, what scares me, Harry, is that I don't think I've ever historically seen a bubble this big or this prolonged. So it looks like when the mega bubble starts popping, it could create a cascade into all these other bubbles. And, I mean, this could create a road warrior-like scenario of collapse if it really goes down. And, I mean, the general public is so spoiled on average. I expect this to be explosive.
Yeah, no, I did too. I mean, not only every bubble in history has gotten greater because our incomes and wealth are greater, and then we can leverage more through debt off that wealth. So the bubbles get greater, but this has been extended. This bubble should have peaked in 2007 and crashed and never come back. Instead, we had a first bubble in 2000 crash, a second one in 2007, and now a third one into early 2015. I say, and I predict strongly, this is the last bubble because the last bubble has been totally artificial. The other ones had demographic and technology trends behind them. They were just exaggerated by.
So this is the last bubble.
This is the last bubble. When this one ends, they all go. Real estate around the world. The last time, okay, Spain went, Ireland went, U.S. went. Before that, Japan. I think all real estate bubbles just about are going to burst. All commodity bubbles and all stock bubbles, because that's what they've done. Investors have jumped from one bubble to the next, and government.
But we have record low savings, record low entrepreneurial spirit, record numbers of people on welfare. You look at the equations, we have a major depression. It is going to be hell on earth.
Yeah. But that's what it takes to get a reset. I mean, the 30s was the worst time in U.S. history, but the crisis really only lasted 3 years. The whole system reset itself, and then we started to grow again. All this stuff about Roosevelt, you know, building all this stuff, pulling us out, that was not the real thing. The system went through a huge reset, huge debt deleveraging. The cost of living went down, and then things turned around, and it was led by the middle-class household. Sure. It wasn't led by a bunch of special interests.
That's well known, but they try to hide that fact. Well, we're in for it. I got other callers here, but you've got to go. We got Slim and Seth and John and Lewis. We'll get to all of you, but you can just make your statement. Or it's just really frightening as a father to see the government, Harry, digging in, getting ready, to see the elites in the London Guardian admitting they're going to, armored redoubts in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and running to New Zealand, saying they're trying to hide a global economic collapse when they've helped engineer it. That's got to really concern law enforcement and other people who are going to be stuck in the middle of all this.
Yeah, law enforcement and security systems will be a good business.
Absolutely, and a very dangerous business. You're going to see that expanding. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, sure, Alex.
Don't forget, his book is free. You just pay the shipping on his website. We have that linked up on Infowars.com, HarryDentResearch.com, Infowars.com, and PrisonPlanet.com are our websites. Stay with us.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
We've been patiently waiting while you tried to ignore us, waiting while you acted like we didn't exist, waiting for our chance to be taken seriously. The wait is over. GCN is available 24/7 at GCNlive.com. Navigate through news from your favorite hosts and download archives of past shows. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet or visit GCNlive.com for instant access and live streaming. GCNlive.com, the future of talk radio, now at your fingertips.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Hey, guess what? They've got some great deals for Valentine's Day at Guns80.com. They're calling it the Sweetheart Special. Guns80.com has lowered the price way down to $400 up until Valentine's Day. Order your Ghost AR-15 now. Tell your sweetheart that this is the right gift at the right time. Buy one for yourself. Buy one for your sweetheart, too. Your sweetheart will thank you for being so tuned into his or her needs. Get a brand new Ghost AR-15 right now for $400. Heck, buy two. His and hers. Go to Guns80.com or call and ask for the Sweetheart Deal. Love is in the air at Guns80.com. Call now, 844-2GUNS80. That's 844-248-6780. It's a sweetheart of a deal. Actually, it's a steal at $400, so call Guns80.com at 844-2GUNS80. But hurry, supplies are limited. Call 844-2GUNS80 or get your Ghost AR-15 today at Guns80.com on the web.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
I'm going to go back to some of your phone calls right now ahead of Joe Biggs joining us. If there was a tactical nuclear weapon used as a warning to the West by the Russians or somebody else in Ukraine, we would not be told about it on the news. And just so you know, nuclear weapons have been used in war before. There's a lot of evidence they were used in Korea, smaller ones, and that, of course, the head of the military at that time in the Pacific operations, MacArthur, was relieved of command because he was about to call in larger attacks. The Nazis used some atomic weapons on the Eastern Front, but they were small and weren't high yield. And then that's actually in mainline history. It's just the official story of Fat Boy and Little Boy and Hiroshima and Nagasaki were told is the first time they were used. And quite frankly, that's just not the case. Well, it's the first time they were used in war, but not the last. And I've seen a bunch of articles in Popular Mechanics, you name it, the last 10 years about, nukes are safe. We can start using smaller ones in war as bunker busters and the rest of it. The Russians have said if Western armor is brought anywhere into eastern Ukraine, they will use tactical nuclear weapons on it. And I've got those mainstream articles in front of me. We're going to be talking about that and repeating it all with Joe Biggs coming up in the next segment. But right now, let's go ahead and talk to Seth in Kentucky. Seth, thanks for holding. Sorry he couldn't talk to Dent. He had to go.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, well, I was just wanting to call because I got to thinking about some things. I'm actually a pretty good fan of you, and I listen to you on occasions. My granddad passed away last year, in August.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you. And basically, everything before he died, he basically said, "Look, this is going to get worse. Okay, things are not going to get better because given the fact that it's either us or we're not getting it." And I know this because I feel this as evangelical Christians as myself. I was reading the Bible the other day, and it talked about a great falling away. Now, I looked at that at first, and when everybody looks at it at first, you'll think, oh, everybody is turning their back on God, and everybody is turning to the world. But there's more to it than that, I feel. Evangelical Christians are nowhere to be seen, right?
Absolutely, because they've been taken over at the highest levels by government, and they're now part of the clergy response team. Even a year ago, when it even came out in Fox News, after we reported it, was the Army people leaked it, that they were told, you will be court-martialed, and the general's letter was put out, if you will be disciplined up to the point of court-martial if you are evangelical Christian and if you attend the churches and give them money, and if you also are part of the Tea Party. And it's totally illegal, but it just shows they were testing. And nobody got in trouble for that. I mean, that's beyond the Soviet Union there. That's like communist China at its worst. And so, yes, no one stands up for 55 million babies. I mean, people stand up, but they get demonized. And so, of course, nobody's going to have rights. Of course, nobody's safe in a world like that. I spent much of the first hour breaking that down. Feminists advertise that they had abortions, and they say, I killed my son, and I feel strong now. I killed the male. These are sick freaks. These people are taking over. They mean business, and they love death, and the Christians won't fight them. The Christians won't stand up against them because it's all about political correctness. If you're a chicken neck commie or a chicken neck feminist and you boss people around, they get on their knees and beg. They go, you're the authority, CNN said, even though CNN has no viewers. There's still this hoax that you do what the scum tells you. You follow the scum's orders because they're scum government, and you don't want to be called racist, so you support Obamacare or you turn your guns in. And I say nobody stands up against it. The truth is people are mad. They see through it. But still, they don't get back in the face of it and say, you're a totalitarian, sicko, control freak. I'm not going to put up with you. Appreciate your call, brother. John in Tennessee, you're on the air.
Yeah, Alex, you want to talk about court-martials. Have you've had a cell phone, so you know what a SIM card is.
Yes.
I want you to think about that on a very, very small scale, and I'd be more than happy to talk more about this off the radio. But if you ever wonder about the Gitmo detainees that were released and why there was so much confidence as to how they would not be able to rejoin the ranks.
They had microchips grafted into their spinal cords.
That's exactly right. And that's...
you just released some really secret stuff right there. I've been told that by some high-level people. They fuse it directly into the vertebra, so you basically can't find it or remove it. I tell you what, I'm going to come back to you briefly. Stay with us.
We're on the march.